to share with you a quick solution that I found for fixing plastic on some of these John Deeres and other pieces of equipment. I bought this John Deere tractor last night with a bumper, and clearly this was their repair job. And inside it's got every piece except for it's got a little piece here missing in the corner. I think we can address that as well. And I'm going to show you how we can quickly repair that. This is a fiberglass tape that they use for drywall, and it's a bit adhesive so it'll stick fast to it. And then I came across this product, this Bondo glass, that's pretty much used like on fiberglass cars, boats, that type of a thing. And it hardens extremely fast and extremely hard, so it's really difficult to sand once you get done. But I have all the pieces. I have a little tab here that I'm going to put back on as well. I'm probably going to glue that and then use the Bondo, and I'll come back a little bit and show you my progress. But okay, so I was able to glue back on this little mounting tab. Later what I will do is I'll reinforce it with the Bondo glass. But my next step is I removed all of the great duct tape, and I'll have to figure out a way to get that off later with some Goo Gone or something like that. But my next step is I'm going to put this together, and I'm just going to simply use either super glue, or in this case I'm using Gorilla Glue. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tape it to hold it, and I'm going to get it so it's fastened. Now clearly that won't hold the bumper together, but it'll allow me enough mobility that when I come back and I put my tape on, my Bondo glass on, that it'll hold it together. So I'm not trying to fight holding the Bondo glass and do it all at the same time. So, well, I was able to get this successfully for now. Put it back together. You can see when I get done, I'm going to still have a crack on the top of this, and I'm going to fill this and have to touch up paint. But a new bumper like this is around, I think, $80 or $85 plus shipping or something. And they get cracked so easily because people bump into the front of the garages and trailers, and it just seems like this is just an easy way, and I'm not totally particular about what a bumper looks like. So, but you can see where I've taped it, and I'm going to let it dry for an hour or so, and then I'll come back and I'll put my fiber glass Bondo on it, and then that will only need to set short time. It's not going to be extremely pretty inside here when I get done. I'll do my best, but this is also a place that you don't see. So we'll let it dry, and then we'll administer the fiberglass and see if we can complete this project. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is, you can see, hopefully, where this tab is that I put on here, I went ahead and I've already put some webbing behind it, that fiberglass tape that is used for drywall. And when I get done, I'm going to fiberglass over all of this and inside of this, and then I'll have to re-drill that hole, but that'll add some stability to this tab so it doesn't break off again. So the next step is I'll start to remove this tape, and I'll simply put this in here, and then I'll come back and hopefully Bondo here in short order. Okay, so you can see that I have this adhesive fiberglass tape in here. It's really cool stuff because it's adhesive on one side of it, so it sticks pretty good. And I removed my painter's tape that I did to set the super glue, and so you could tell that I'm going to have a little bit of a hole here that I'm going to have to address, like I said earlier, but that's really not going to bother me that much if I have a little imperfection on the bumper. So, but we'll go ahead and lay in the Bondo here in a little bit, mix it up, and then put some on and see how we do. Okay, we're ready for the next step. This Bondo has a pretty toxic smell. Normally I wouldn't do these things at my kitchen island, but it's still cold outside, and I need this stuff to warm up a little bit so it sets in everything. So what I typically do is I pour some down here. That should be more than enough. And then it comes with the hardener. and I just kind of guesstimate a little bit. And then you can buy these paddles also at the place where, you know, any store you buy this Bondo glass. I got the Bondo glass from Lowe's, and so but it's different than body filler because this actually has a fiberglass already in it, and depending on the hardener that you put in, how much you put in, determines how fast it will set up as well. And so in 20 minutes or so, this will be so hard that it'll be hard to sand. So try not to put too much on. You put too much on, then you got to try to get it off or try to sand it off, and I've learned that that's very difficult. But I do love this product, and it has done a lot of fixes for me on a lot of different things, and this will be really strong when I'm done. So I'm not going to have you watch me put this on, but I'll come back in a minute once I have it all set. Okay, you can see that I was able to get it all laid in there, did the best that I could. Paddle was probably a little bit too wide, but you can see I'm not going to mess with it too much because it's still setting up. But I went ahead and I put that piece in that I said I was going to put in. I'm not much concerned about the way. I may have to sand that a little bit to make sure that it sits down, but I got all the fiberglass covered. And then if you spin it around here to the front, you can see that I put it in this hole a little bit, and I'll do some light sanding there, and I'll have to hit that with a little bit of green paint, but after I clean everything up. But I'll let this dry, and then I think this will set up really, really hard. In fact, I know it will, and this will hold, and I'll be able to put it back on hopefully later today after I clean it all up and get it ready to paint. Okay, so you can see here where it was repaired inside, and it's pretty smooth for the most part, but most importantly, it's really, this is the tab that I put on and a fiberglass behind it, and so you can see that that's really firm. I had to knock off a little bit of it so this will be flush with the frame so when I'm on it back. And you can see the front here, there's going to be still a little crack here, like I said. And there's going to be a little blemish here that I'll have to touch up a little John Deere paint. The bumper already had a pretty big blemish on anyhow. That may be able to cause the initial damage. As I was cleaning it apart, I thought this was just a crack, and guess what? It's another place that I'm going to have to put together, repair. And but getting the tape off took about as much time as anything else. But like I said, it's not going to be perfect. But it's good enough for me not to spend another $85 for a bumper that I will probably hurt or damage again. Okay, I'm back with the final product. I have it all put back together. When I put the fiberglass on the back, I had a little bit too much, so I had to grind a little bit out so I could get it on the pegs. And you can still see a slight line that if I really want to work at it, I might give it another coat yet. But overall, it turned out pretty good, and it's a lot better than using duct tape and some other items I've seen people use. So I hope this was helpful, and good luck with your home improvement projects on your lawnmowers and other things.